Hello everyone, it's me again, Delightful Soul. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can hear more content about your favorite celebrities, my opinion, and what's happening around the world. So let's get into this video.
Got totally different than what happened.
Right.
At Drew's concert, when Drew said Candy about the incident, bitch, Candy gave that bitch a look like, don't you goddamn talk about my business. This the mafia over here, bitch.
The show started out with a 12-year timeline of Marlo and Candy's relationship. First introduced to the crew as a friend of Nene Leakes. Marlo's RHOA journey has been sugar baby accusations, her source of income has been questioned, and her criminal past has been dredged up. Marlo has been a friend to the show for over 10 years before she became a peach holder in season 14, 2022. Now, throughout it all, Marlo and Candy's friendship has gone from shaky to heartwarming and back to shaky again. Candy reminded us in 2020 that people always want to define Marlo by her mugshot, but she's really kind-hearted, very thoughtful. She's a really sweet person. I believe that, and I believe that Candy does also to this day. I'll tell you my thoughts about this later. Meanwhile, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. So let's get back to this story review.
I feel like obviously I might have offended you a little bit when I told you what Ross was thinking. You know, he's ready for us to just be us again.
Well, Sonia Richards Ross has her husband, son, mom, dad, sister, brother-in-law, and nephew. The package deal was fruitful for the viewers, but mostly for Sonia, who has been using her relatives as assistants, babysitters, hairstylists, and personal chef. However, trouble is brewing. Sonia's assistant, her brother-in-law, Tyrell Gatewood, he has quit. Her sister, Sherry Richards, is tired of her ish, and mother has stopped being generous with the beef patties. But when Sonia served up that eviction notice to her mom and sister, no one was happy. But in this episode, the sister said she was leaving anyway. The mom flips back and forth, and the dad, he wants to stay. But stay tuned, I'm going to talk about Sonia later on. Kenya Moore's scene starts out with her talking about opening a spa. She meets up with her friend Akila, her Zen friend, and she discussed her being a wife for 5 years. But the fans allegedly said she's been married for 5 years. And the fans also want to see a marriage certificate. Kenya also talks about Roy and him not being around for a committed relationship. He's always out of town. And do y'all think that Kenya is trying to set us up to know that Roy may be a no? Okay? I really wanted to see how she moves forward with this relationship with Roy when she is a quote unquote wife. But anyway, this Roy and Kenya relationship, what it does, it gives me a picture for the gram or clout chasing fake storyline. And y'all figure out which one. I don't have the time for it. Kenya lies too much, saying Marlo attacked her child when in fact, Marlo was not in the vicinity of her child. And she may be onto something though. Now we have to wonder about whether she's going to carry out her divorce, with the process of that, the progression of her relationship with Roy, if that's real, if that's going to happen at all. And we will wait for her to open her spa. Okay, so and all the while she has these great storylines, but I'm sure she's going to focus on protecting Candy. Okay, her and her crew villainizing Marlo by using the term aggressive when she challenges them verbally. But I'm going to talk more about that later on. I guess we all can agree that Sheree's family scene with Cairo was so sweet to watch. We literally watch him grow up, and she's so proud of him. Hashtag RHOA. I'm interested to see if Cairo is going to marry the mother of his daughter. I know that Sheree is proud of being a glamour, or better yet, Gigi. Lord, y'all can escape Nene Leaks. Bravo. But I would also like to see Sheree focus on She by Sheree. I would like to see her ins and out of starting up her business again. If she finds a love interest, great. If not, oh well, because we all figure out this Martell situation at this point. And Drew, listen here, little girl. You know that you are full of it. You know they say that word everywhere. You are more sensitive about saying it around a family or someone who you know have experienced that. And if that is the case, make it clear. But other than that, you're full of it. Your husband even looks strangely at you, and your castmates look strangely at you when you said you don't say that where you're from. Well, all I can say is that, of course, Candy and Todd, he's working on a movie he has written too that we have not seen, and we are still waiting to hear other details about the quote unquote incident that happened at one or both of her restaurants. However, this is to explain how energy negative energy is spread, whereas a resolution cannot be had. So now you have these ladies who has arrived at the venue for a team building exercise that Courtney had put together. And the tension was very, very thick. The pleasantries among some was there and others not so much. Well, Candy, upon her arrival, began to ask Marlo about a conversation she had with Drew, and Marlo asked to speak with her privately while Drew accompanied them. And Marlo asked um, Candy, what did you hear? What story was told to you? And Candy go on to explain, and then after that, Marlo was responding, and Candy was interrupting in certain points, but at the same time, her attitude was amping up. That energy was amping up. And then after they got loud and everything, that's the moment in which Candy said that she was crying because she wanted to choke Marlo, but not before Marlo was taunting her, of course, calling her a crybaby or go ahead and cry, something like that. But anyway, the disappointing thing is that there was no resolution. Um, I wish they would have or was able to go into details why each was feeling the way they were and not feeling as if they had to play defense, because at a certain point you can understand that this is miscommunication, and this miscommunication is based on these ladies' personality. Okay, and Sonya is going to explain that for you later on in the video interview she did with Carlos King. But back to this energy from Drew to Kenya and to Candy. And Kenya presented it to Candy the way Drew presented it, as it was conflict. And it was about Marlo being concerned or upset about the fact that Drew did not explain or in details asking Candy about the shooting that went on at her restaurant. And Drew referred to it as the incident, for the simple fact that she said she's from Chicago and she could not say the S word. When she made that comment in front of her husband, he looked at her strange, and the cast member in their confession, they thought that was very strange as well. And some of the ladies gathered in the parking lot to talk, of course, about Marlo, who is this season is about. But who remained was Drew, Candy, Kenya, and Mayetta, discussing fighting techniques, of course. And then you had in the uh, facility, the building, you had Marlo, Courtney, Sheree, and Sonya. And I was glad that Sonya came to Marlo's defense when Drew called her a trick, and she was going very, very, very low. And of course, if Marlo gets word of this and want to retaliate, of course, then Drew will play victim. But someone says that Marlo needs to leave Candy's actions, that she did not show any sympathy or concern toward the death of her nephew in the past. And I say to you, then they need to leave her past in the past.
And I'm confused. Well, no, I get it. And I think that it's tricky, right? Because you can't tell someone how to feel. And even for me, when I communicate with Marlo and stuff, and I'm like, dang, like, it's a tricky thing to navigate because somebody died, right? Like, her nephew died. So there's the gravity of that. And then there is this feeling where she just feels like, Candy sometimes just kind of brushes past issues, big and small. And so, do I always agree with how Marlo goes at things? No. But do I try to validate her feelings? Yes. And so in the fact that she felt like Candy never really acknowledged it or showed up in the way, see, the other thing that people have to understand too is, like, a lot of times people value friendship the way that they are friends. And Marlo is one of the most thoughtful, she's one of the kindest people I know. Like, last season when I had COVID, she sent me flowers, a teddy bear. She sent me medicine. She called me every day. And that's her love language. And so, she, I think, just expects people to reciprocate that. And like what I understand from Candy when I was talking to Candy as well, is like, she's not that girl. Like, and I'm not all the way a thoughtful person like that either. Like, Marlo is teaching me how to be more thoughtful.
Tell me what you think about this story. And as always, I thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.